Hello everybody, it's Catherine and welcome to Tuesday Sewing. And I've got a few samples, a few bits and bobs to show you following on from yesterday's video. It's very dark and dismal out there. I seem to be losing my voice, it's croaky this morning. Dark and dismal, and we've got all the lights on and, you know, camera light and everything. But it's a bit dark, so bear with us. And excuse me, David was doing something then to me right, put me off what I was going to say.
Sorry.
There's two of them points that don't balance,
right.
By the way.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Shall I carry on? Yeah. Finish fiddling. Right, the things that I did yesterday with the glue. These are, and I've painted them this morning. I've used just ordinary watercolours, cheap watercolours, children's paint set or whatever. And these, I'm really pleased. These are the ones that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to put them somewhere. So depends on what comes out of the pick jar. Depends on, decided that because I've got two pieces on the go, I'll give myself that option of where I put the pick jar stuff. But for sure I'm going to be putting these on here somewhere, couch that on. But I did a couple of examples for you just so you can see how you would use them on covers or in a journal, and I'm really pleased with them. So this one is the first one, and I'm thrilled to bits with this. This is the elephant upside down that's now a flower. So I've coloured it in and I've couched it down on here with some really bold metallic just to give it that bit of a pop because the paint's quite matte. So that's that one, and this is a cover that that I've made, collage and doing some stenciling and stuff on it. So that's one, and I love this sort of the layering up of that. And then the other one is one of the flowers that I'd done anyway, and so I've done this with some really fine silk thread that's multicoloured, and I'll show you those in a bit because I think we'll have a play with the silk threads today. And yeah, I think that looks nice as well. So let's do our pick jar, normal proceedings on a Tuesday. Oh, oh, oh. It's actually a pickling jar from Lakeland. I've got my trusty hand there. Two. Thank you.
Danke.
Thank you very much. Stripe or stripes.
Ooh.
Couching. Wow, isn't that? That's amazing. What was that? What did I say? And you saw me. I got, you know, I've forgotten what's in there now.
They all say couching.
Go on, get on with you. So yeah, couching and stripe or stripes. And actually, that could go on any of those. So yes, as always, we'll let you go and collect your supplies. And as promised, we'll put Nelson on with his new haircut. See you in a minute. So I'm quite excited now. I found some scraps that I got left over, or what I hadn't quite finished of my, you remember when I did my chenilling, and how perfect is a chunk of that on, and I've decided I'm going to put it on each. Gives a bit of different dimension to them, so I'm pleased with them. And couching, oh yes, I can couch anything any day. I love doing it. Okay then, so it's relaxation time girls. So get all your supplies together, get yourself in a nice comfy position, and I want you to take some nice deep breaths in and out. Don't forget, you mustn't operate machinery or drive a car while doing any relaxation exercises. So deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Just concentrate for a few minutes on your breathing. Just concentrate on the in-breath and the out-breath. I want you to start clearing your mind. Clearing your mind to have a relaxing hour. Clear your mind of all your worries, all the struggles, things you've got to do in a day, the kids, the shopping, everything. This is me time. This is an hour for you to relax, do some lovely stitching with friends, and recharge your batteries. We all need to do that. We all have right to have an hour to ourselves, recharge our batteries, and get on with the day. So take some nice deep breaths. Close your eyes and relax. Feel all the tension leaving your body. Down, down, down. All the aches and pains. Imagine somebody brushing them all. Down, down, down. They're brushing all the tension out of your body, starting with your neck and your shoulders, down your arms, they're brushing down your abdomen, they're brushing down your legs, and out through your feet. Tighten those feet, feel that tension, and relax. Relax those feet and feel the tension. Tension's leaving your body. This is time for you. This is time for you to relax, to concentrate on your own health, on your own well-being. So take some nice deep breaths in and out. In and out. You're now starting to feel fully relaxed. Take some nice deep breaths in and out. In and out. And in your own time, you're going to open your eyes and adjust yourself ready for this hour of stitching. This hour of meeting up with friends, relaxing, chatting. Okay. That was nice. I felt that I needed to relax everything, and looking forward to today. Looking forward. I'm loving this now. This is really nice. I thought, crikey, stripes, what am I going to do? And then I'd actually got a piece of this out to be doing a piece of this chenilling to go in one of my, you know, ever so often I do Catherine's bonus packs. And I've got 2 journals in and enough fabric for a cover and other bits and bobs for making journals and crafting with. And I was probably meant to get that out today because I needed it. So, welcome all new subscribers, and welcome to anybody that's new to slow stitching. Please, you know, you're amongst friends here. We're all learning new things all the time, and it doesn't matter. With slow stitching, it doesn't matter if all you know how to do is a running stitch in and out. It's surprising the looks you can get, like we started doing last week on this. The looks you can get from just alternating the thickness of your thread and space in between your running stitch, that sort of thing. Now, I know somebody's asked me about needles, and in lots of ways it doesn't really matter, you know, for slow stitch. Whatever needles you've got. For years, cheap pack of needles from supermarket has suited me, you know, and as time's gone on, I've invested in some nice assortment of threads. But you know, it's many years of buying things in sales and an odd thread here, odd thread there, and I'm starting to get a better selection of needles now, because like anything, you get what you pay for. But don't let that stop you. If all you've got is you know, needles that you just buy cheaply, inexpensive needles, they do most jobs, especially with slow stitching. Nothing too elaborate. If you start doing really elaborate stitches and things, and that's probably, I've just moved on to a higher level embroidery course. I see I'm taking all these things. I don't know, I haven't got enough hours in a day. What with my journaling qualification I'm doing, journaling coach. Now I'm doing an advanced embroidery. I'm doing advanced my health and well-being in June. I've got all these things lined up, but I'm hoping that a lot of this health and well-being stuff and meditation and slow stitch I'm going to be able to pass on to you guys, so that'll benefit everybody. So let's do some couching, and yeah, if you haven't done couching before, you don't have to do couching for slow stitch. But it's easy enough. Once you know how, it is easy enough. Right. Well, I've got my metallic thread box today, and oh goodness me, they drive me mad really. They come unthreaded. Oh, that's quite nice. I might use that. Some my auntie's given me. This is Madeira thread's a good thread to have. Now going back to the needles, the rule of thumb really is, what have I got in here? I have got, because I've done tapestry or needle point as a lot of people call it, for many years I did needle point. I got some out. I've got a lovely big cushion cover that I've been doing for years. Oh golly, did it make my wrist hurt. It did, and I think, oh dear, I'll need to get these finished, and that's probably my needle point days are dwindling even, dwindling. A really long one. Now this is one of my new ones I've got, milliner's needle, and the milliner's ones tend to be long because they're for stitches where you wrap things round. So like if you're doing French knots or bullion knots or whatever, you need a long shaft to it so you can wrap things round. And then I've a chenille needle or sashiko needles for any other work. So really, you know, you can, if you are wanting to invest, you can just buy tapestry, blunted ended needle, a chenille needle and a milliner's needle. There's all different sizes depending, but you know, you don't need to be worrying about size. I never did for years. I mean, I got through my City and Guilds in embroidery without buying a posh needle at all. So yeah. Right, so what have we got in here? No, I digress. I was back to needles. Now, a lot of these I got to, they drive me mad because they come unthreaded. This is the one, it's beautiful though, that I used for couching this down. Now, some of these are silk threads that I got for my sewing machine. Oh, and it's a bit of a nightmare, you know, using silk threads or metallic threads on your sewing machine. You do need to use a metallic needle. This is another Gutterman silky thread. I don't use them on my machine, so I thought, yeah, we'll start using them in these projects. Very fine. I think I got these in a sale somewhere. So I keep all my metallics separate, and I thought for today, have we got something that's a nice greeny colour? Do you know, hour will be up and I haven't done any sewing. Oh, now then, let's have a look. That's a nice colour. Shall we couch with that? Yes, we will. Yes, we will. I was going to use that. I'll pick something else for that one, I think. But I'm going to... so this is the needle I was using. It's probably a bit big, but it'll do. Look, I was using these metallic threads. Don't throw any of these away. Save them, because when we're, you know, making your own paper, or we'll go back to doing some more make your own fabric with strands you've got left over. Okay then, so I'm going to do this double thickness. See ya. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday. It was something a little bit different, and you think, oh, it looks like a load of rubbish, you know. My things that look like what they're not supposed to be. But that doesn't matter, does it? Once you get your paint effects out, who would have thought that elephant thing would turn out looking stunning like that on a cover? So, yeah, I've got to work out, do a few trials as to what's the best product if I want to make the matte paint a bit more glossy. Obviously, you can't put anything on that's going to melt, that's going to have a reaction and melt the glue. Right, okay, so let me move those two off. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it again for anybody that's new. Couching, you can often use, even threads can be couched down. So if you've got some, let me show you an example. Let me reach in here. These are ones I've had years, which I've shown you before, that are from a company that's no longer existing. But I know Steph Francis does a mixed yarn pack, and this is the sort of thing that you'd get. And they're like sample packs. They're not too expensive. You know, again, bargain basement in your shops. You know, any wool shops or any haberdasheries, and, you know, pick up a whole... Like I pick up things at end of line, like for example this is knitting thing, but great for using with your journaling and sewing. So these won't fit through your fabric unless it's very, very wide weave. I mean, obviously they'd fit through if you've got a piece of Hessian burlap wide weave, then they would, and that'd be a nice effect. But generally, such as this, it wouldn't. But there's nothing to stop you couching it down. You could get a few threads like that, put them up there, and couch them down if you want it to look like an effect. So couching, I feel, is a very useful, easy stitch, easy to learn, easy to do, but the effects, you know, are brilliant if all you ever do is slow stitch, you know, running stitch or couch stitch. It's surprising what you can achieve. So the idea is that we want to couch down or fasten down our object or thread or whatever we want to do. Now, start wherever you want really. This is, you know, it's not a long piece, so start wherever you want. Now, on really thick, if you've got loads and loads of layers, you don't need to always go right through to the back like I'm doing. I've only got 2, so I don't need to be worried about it being difficult to get through. But if you've got loads and loads of layers, so for example you're couching something on this that's got loads and loads of thickness to it, excuse me, and my water, you don't necessarily be wanting to go in and out the full thickness. So actual fact, you could just couch something and just go underneath so many layers, underneath one layer even. You know, you don't have to go through the whole lot. And some people always couch that way where, you know, they don't necessarily. But for the purposes of such of this, I do. And it's a matter of wrapping your stitch around. Now to save thread, you come up this side, you go down that side, and then you come back up the side where you went down. And that way, you know, you're being economical with your sewing, with your stitch. You're not overwrapping. If you've got something, say, that you feel is a bit fine and a bit you want to give it extra strength to hold it down, then you can just keep going over and over. So, you know, come up here, go down here, wrap your thread wraps along the back, and come up again where you started, and go in one direction. Now that uses more thread, but you might feel that it just gives, if you've got a very fine piece of fabric there, or paper even, and it's a bit friable, then you might want to do it that way. There's no set rules really. If it's a long piece, I tend to, you're not supposed to really put a stitch through your object you're couching to start with. You should be able to pull it through the stitches if you want to, but in some instances I do give a little bit of a tack stitch, you know, just a bit through the fabric I'm couching, just to give it a bit of extra security. Now, you don't have to have any rhyme or reason to how you're stitching. You know, you can just go along however you feel you want the stitches to go, or you can do them more decorative. So when we do the next one, we could decide we want a bit of a pattern to how we couch the stitches on. Doesn't really matter how you do it. It's all part of the look you want of the finished thing. Now, because this is really thick here, I have couched it down, but I like this bit here. It's not going to come off, and I've decided that, you know, say I like this look, I don't want any stitches to go over it. Or you can choose a thread that's the same colour of what you're couching, and it'll come practically invisible if you don't want the stitches to be part of your design really. So I think that's enough on there. I quite like that we've got that bit without stitches. skizzers. I'll be getting to talking about things in a bit. What did I do with my scissors? My little red ones. Oh, they're here. They're here. Okay, so we might just have enough for a small one. Oh no, let's save that with me. Things that I'm going to put in. Right, okay, so next one. That's a different colour. Do we want to use this or do we want to use something different on this one? Something a bit orangey, I think. I haven't got anything orangey. I think that's... That metallic's a bit too metallic. Look at this, I keep trying to stick it down with washi tape, but it doesn't like it. Look, it doesn't stick. I couldn't tell you where these are from. I mean, some of these what my auntie's given me are years old. No, okay, we'll do this colour next, I think. I'll put a bit of sellotape on that. That's better than washi tape, really, for sticking. Just wait till I've threaded it. Right, let's have a try with this one. There we go. Okay, so and this is just as soothing as doing a running stitch, really. I mean, slow stitch is a movement that started, it's about meditating, relaxing, stitching, you know, without thinking about it. And so running stitch is a very easy, simple stitch to do. You just do it without thinking about it, and you know, you're relaxing and not thinking about what you're stitching. That's okay as long as you aren't thinking about other stuff. So if you're just thinking, right, I don't have to think about doing this, I'm couching this ring on, I don't have to think what I'm doing, it's automatic. Now then, what have I got to do today? And oh, I ought to go to pick this up for dinner and I ought to do this. No, that's not what it's about. It's not just about... People think it's probably just a stitch, just about the stitching, the type of stitching. No, it's about finding time for a bit of relaxation and, you know, an hour for yourself, and just think pleasant, beautiful thoughts, pretending you're in a garden, you know, you could imagine. And that's the thing with the... often with meditation, you know, you can go into a lovely garden and you're smelling the flowers and, you know, looking at what's around you, and there's something very calming and nurturing about that, I think. So hope you're all doing well, keeping well. You see, you've got some interesting little things with this. You never know, especially if you're not an artist like me. You know, you've got these little holes. Well, to me, that's interest on your page or your piece that you're working on. And how fabulous does that look? Those little holes couched down. Right, let's have a think. I think because we've got the holes that way, I want that one to go. That's that way. And that one there, I think. Does that want to be more like that? I think it does. So, just because it's nearby, I'm not going to bother cutting it down. so hope you are enjoying some nice crafting things. It was nice to hear from some people last week telling me what they were doing. Okay, I'll just have some new thread. I'm still working on my aquatic journal. Everything's sewn in. All the signatures now are sewn. Are sewn in, so I can start putting the ephemera in and embellishing. So I think we might do something for that on next Monday. Oops. It's so fine, this stuff. See what we can do that I might need for that. I've noticed that it's not that we knew this, and not that, I mean, David didn't know this when he did, you know, the digitals, the printables for the aquatic kit. It's a big trend at the minute. Everywhere I look, if you're looking for clothes, there's stuff with fish all over it, or, you know, underwater scenes and things. I was quite surprised. And even embedding, that's it, because often you'll find out what the trends are, but no, it's not big enough. What the trends are, not that you have to follow trends all the time, but I'm quite surprised, you know, that there's bedding coming out, new line for spring summer, and it's like, it's as if David could have painted it, really. It's quite bizarre. So yeah, we're ahead of the game, gang. You know, if you're doing an aquatic journal, if you're thinking of doing one, go and check that out. It's a stunning kit. Stunning. Somebody's asked us about seeing some of David's art and things like that, and yeah, we're going to work on some things that perhaps be useful. We're certainly going to be oh, that's a bit close, isn't it? That's better. We're certainly going to be looking at making cards, we think, with David's photography. So I mean, all the stunning things that you see on Tuesdays, all the flowers, the you know, the stuff, they're all photographs of David's. And we thought that a way that we could share that, I mean, they've got the chip-ins, the paint chips that's sold in our shops, and some small pieces of canvas cut up from some of David's large pieces. Looks like a heart, that. The chambers of the heart. That's, you see, once a nurse, always a nurse. So we're working on those because we've got some really gorgeous photography that you know, for those that have been asking, we can share in that way. It's very difficult. I'm going to go back to the mix for the bottom one. It's very difficult to share his art by selling some pieces, because a lot of his art pieces that he sells are large, and you know, the cost of shipping overseas would be horrendous. So a little way of sharing with you all is to do some pieces on a smaller scale, or like take snippets of his art, aspects of it, and make into digitals, like all the backgrounds for the aquatic kit are all real. Real. Real, the real. Are all actual what is photographed from his artwork and then put into the digitals. So you know, let us know, talk to us, let us know what sort of things you're wanting. They are saying that you want some of David's art. So we're going to try and do them as postcards, as greeting cards, that sort of thing. Journaling cards. But let us know. I mean, he's done, some of his commissions are massive. He's done a couple of commissions for our vet. And there was a special piece he wanted doing for his, they're all abstract. You know, if you just want, you know, a picture of a horse painting or something like that, no, he doesn't do that. He's done one or two of birds of prey and things, but very abstract. But this piece our vet commissioned for his anniversary, and it was massive. It was about 3 meters by 3 meters, I think. It was massive. So yeah, you can see we can't really ship those sizes across the pond cheaply. Even to Europe, you know, it's, you know what cost of shipping a large journal is. So we've got plenty of things in the pipeline coming up. If we don't get put off before then. It's been a bit of a tough week. Lost loads of subscribers this week. And you get on with, you know, you think, right, okay, then that's fine. They don't want to stay. That's fine. But, you know, there's so many things, unless you get to 1,000 subscribers, there's so many things you can't do. You can't do lives. There's loads of things that you aren't allowed to do. And, you know, it's a shame. So it's certainly not for the money. I mean, if you've only got 1,000 subscribers, you're not, you know, it probably takes you 2 years to earn a fiver. It's about the other things that you can do, and doing live sessions with people, you know, with your friends, really, because you're all becoming friends. It's not allowed till you get to 1,000. So that's when it gets me down, when I lose a big chunk. Because I think I've lost about 6 or 7. Making them back up. But I don't know why I keep... I don't know whether this hoarse voice thing's a bit of a reaction to the vaccine. We had it Thursday. And generally, I mean, yeah, I'm all for it. No matter if you feel a bit off it for a few days. But this hoarse voice and coughing a bit, I think might be... It's starting to work. Your immune system's starting to react to it. Now, look at that. I'm thrilled to bits with that. That is gorgeous. It's coming on, isn't it? And all we did was a bit of wax crayon on there. So... I'm going to just sew around this bit, I think, because with all the things we've been chatting about, it's probably, let's start here, it's probably going on for time. We haven't had any cake for ages, have we? I haven't made you any cake. I'll have to think about making some cake. Something healthy. I don't know, I think all homemade cakes are healthier than shop-bought ones if you can manage. I mean, I've not baked cakes for years. And then, you know, obviously when we had the first lockdown, I started doing it again. And I'm right enjoying it and carrying it on. I don't do loads and loads. I might only make one a week. But I'm right enjoying it. And I haven't got any new recipes from Miranda Mills yet. She's poorly. She's had her immune system's like really kicked in when she had her vaccine. So it's taken her a while. She hasn't been doing any filming. So I'm missing my recipes on a Friday with her and her mum. I also, for anybody new that hasn't, if you haven't come across Kate at the Last Homely House, she's a lovely lady. Her channel's lovely. She does a lot of quilting, but she lives in Northumberland here in the UK, and she's got lovely cats, and she's got a duck called Eileen, and I haven't seen this week. I haven't watched it. I haven't had time. I don't know where hours go, but she's taking, it says taking Eileen for a swim, because she's like rescued. I think she was a rescued duck, and she takes her then up to the nearest, what's this one? Let's try this. Takes her up to the nearest big pond for a good old swim after winter. But she's such a lovely lady. She does have a shop. She's, in fact, I don't know if the duck's on that one. It isn't. I don't. Oh, it's here. I bet it is. Yes, they're here. David got me these as a surprise for my birthday, even though I was in hospital. It was miserable. This is Eileen. This is her duck. These are pins, and I'm going to make a little drawstring bag to put these on. This is Eileen the duck, and then one of the cats. She's got a cat called Norma. No, it's Norma, not Nora. Norma, which was David's mum's name, Norma, and my nanan was Nora. And this is one of the chickens, and she's got bees. I've got all the sets that he got me. So yeah, go and have a look at that. It's it's just heartwarming to watch. And she does amazing English paper piecing. So we had a little bit of a go, didn't we? I have got it on the card somewhere when we did hexagons, English paper piecing. I haven't had time to do any of that. It's surprising. We tried to get our video done early in the morning, early-ish, because especially this one on a Tuesday, because it's the longest, and you could say that this will take David most of the day. Doesn't usually have to do too much editing, but he has to put the photos in and edit the front and the beginning and the end, that sort of thing. Then it has to be converted into a film. So you have to convert it then into a film, and that can take an hour and 20. Then he has to put all the details in and all these algorithm thingies so that it spreads the word, the hashtags and such like. And then he uploads it, once this film's been made, converted, then he has to download it, or is it upload it to YouTube, which for one, this depends what time of day, but for an hour's video you can be an hour and 3/4 alone just waiting for it to go through the process of uploading to YouTube. And then also now, because of the copper guidelines, they do extra checks, so that's an extra check on top. They have to convert it to high definition. And so, you know, we're filming this at, we started something like 10:30, 10:45 in the morning, and it could take David until, to do all those processes, it could take him maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, sometimes later if it's very busy. So that's your day gone, really. That's, you know, his day if he's doing that. And then, of course, obviously I've got my Jane Catherine on Books, my book channel. Taking Nelson out and having a walk and stuff, and it's evening. They always say I don't know how to find time to work. It's true. Well, I mean, it's because then you didn't have time to devote. So I can understand all you lovelies that are still working, and or you've got younger children, and you know that it's not till you leave work that you have the time to spend on such as this in any great amount. I just used to make a few cards and some tapestry when my kids were young. Oh, this is tough. This is tough because it's got a lot of layers in that chenille. But I'm liking that. So don't forget to send in comments down below if you've not already sent prompts for the slow stitch prompt jar. It can be anything. You know, anything that you want to say, oh, add something sparkly, or add a charm, add a button, something painted in blue, do cross stitch. It could be anything like that. It's just the excitement of not knowing what we're going to add in on the, you know, on the day. So I'm just going to tie that off, and that's probably about a video. I think we've been going about 50 minutes or something like that. 45. Yeah, David's going.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
I've got to keep elusive.
They're cutting the grass at the back, aren't they? I can hear them.
Yeah.
Big tractor thing, because there's a big playing field at the back of us. And now next week I'm going to definitely try and get a bit more of this done as well. But I'm liking that. I'm liking that. This is really coming on, isn't it? You know, from just a bit of wax melting on there, so we haven't got a blank canvas. And you see, I want to put all these things on if it wasn't for the prompt jar. So, yeah, I think that's looking really nice. Just quickly, before I go... Oh, I've got stuff everywhere, all around me. All around. I'm just going to quickly show you. Let me move these. Quickly show you David's embroidery digitals. This, I mean, these are all like from embroideries and things that we've got and we've collected, and he's manipulated them. Some of them were really dark and horrible, and he's had to do quite a bit on it, but I love this. Love that one. Then we've got this one. Now, I've asked him to leave all this in because he could have taken it out. Can you, the fabric, you can see the grain still and the creases in the fabric, and I love that. You know, didn't want it to look too perfect, because to me it adds a bit of something. Same with this. Look at this. Look at all creases and dimples and things in that. So there's that one. There is this one. It's lovely detailing of that fringe. Oops, they're falling on the floor. Oh, lordy. That one from a handkerchief. This one. And again, look at this. Stunning, this patterning in it. Because if you're doing something, a journal that's, you know, you do something shabby chic or whatever, you don't want it to look pristine, do you? They're falling off there. Put them up there. I want to use them. I don't want them in a heap. This one reminded me, I felt as if this was like a bag, you know, as if that, like the little pouches that I make with the lace underneath and then a flap over bag. That's why I like that. I thought that was lovely. And some of these as well, such as this, is from that really old that I did, the vintage embroidery book that I did for my design team project for Rachel at Roxy Creation. And David's had to do a lot of work to brighten them because, oh, they were drab. This one has done some smaller ones. There's that. There's this that was a real retro tablecloth. This is one of my faves. And look at you can see the weave. I hope you can from there. But, you know, when they're printed off. This is on 160. Yeah, 160 paper. Because I just wanted to show you on something a bit thicker, because some of them will be journaling cards or whatever. So that's it. That's what he's created that specially, because I said I loved it. It looked like a little, one of my little pouches. Again, we've got those two, and then he's done some of the smaller ones on here. These are all from my stash, all little doilies and napkins from the stash. This one, so pretty, look at the flowers. This is from, and I think it's French actually. In fact, I think I brought this home from France years ago. Table linen. It's lovely. So you can fussy cut round these, or you can use them as full pages. And again, we've got the lovely detail of the weave of the burlap on some of them. Burlap, calico. Again, we've got all the creases in there. It's taking up the ink. So I think they are lovely. Let me see how many we've got. We've got the one on the floor. I think there might be 13. I don't know. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, no there's no, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I've counted the one on the floor, perhaps not, 21 or 22, something like that. So a substantial set of images for you to use, all shapes and sizes. So they are in our Etsy shop. The link will be down below. Go and take a little look at those. I shall be starting to use those soon. Now I've shown them here. So many journals, so little time. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you've not already and you're a book lover, go over and check out my Jane Catherine on books. I'm about 12 off reaching that 1,000 there over on that channel. So go over and take a look and subscribe if it's your cup of tea reading. And don't forget to like and subscribe on here, because it helps with the algorithms. And the more these algorithms work, apparently, the more you get to a wider audience. And you know, we're gathering together a lovely community here. We've got some lovely friends now. So yes, thank you for joining me as always, and I will see you next video. Yes, I'm not sure what I'm doing next. I've got a few things in the pipeline. So thank you for joining me. I'm glad you've had a nice relaxing hour stitching with friends, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now. you.